Hello everyone, what's up? Welcome back to another video. Has a little break, but now we're back. And today I'm going to be looking at all three European competitions, and we're going to be going through the semi-finals and the finals from my predictions. So it's going to be quite interesting. So Conference League, Europa League, Champions League, going through all of them. I think it's going to be quite interesting. So I'm looking forward to it. It's beginning to be a busy time for the channel, what with all the rounding up of the season. This Friday, I think I'll be doing predictions from all of the EFL, so Championship, League 1 and League 2, and looking at my final tables. I'll do the same with the Prem in a few weeks, and then also Team of the Seasons as well, and then we've got the Club World Cup to look forward to, so lots going on, and if you're excited for that and this video, make sure you like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell so you never miss an upload. Now, let's get into it. Okay, so let's start with the Conference League, and it's the first game, Real Betis of Spain versus Fiorentina of Italy. And now Fiorentina have a pretty good history with the Conference League. There's been 3 editions so far. Fiorentina have made the final in 2 and the last 2, so both of which they lost to West Ham and Olympiacos respectively, but it's pretty good. So yeah, they've got lots to be confident about going into this semi-final appearance. And then Real Betis, they're doing pretty well. The top goal scorer is Isco, but lots of different goal scorers for them this season, obviously. They've had the arrival of Anthony as well, so being quite interesting for them. They sit 6th in La Liga at the moment. And then Fiorentina, their main man, 17 goals in the league, 29 appearances, is Moise Kean. And they're currently only 8th in Serie A. Now, the first leg is at home for Real Betis. And we all know they are probably one of the best fan bases in Spain. So I'm going to give them a 2-0 victory for the first leg. Okay, so guys, how this is going to work, I'll do one clip for each of the first legs of all the tournaments, then just the semi-finals and final in one clip, but the main explaining bit and everything will be with the first leg, because obviously the second legs are the same teams. Okay, so Chelsea versus Djurgården. Apologies if I pronounced that wrong. The Swedish team. Well, this is obviously a game with a clear favourite is Chelsea. They are 5th in the Premier League at the moment. Remember, Forest are yet to play their 34th game, so if they win that, they'll go above Chelsea and they'll drop down to 6th. So obviously not being the best season for Cole Palmer. He is still in the league there, top goal scorer, 14 goals in 33 appearances. Djurgården is a bit of a weird one for them because in the Swedish leagues, the season is from March to November, so just like say the MLS, it all is in one calendar year, and obviously they do that in some other sports. So that's a bit weird for them. They're sitting 10th in the Allsvenskan, but remember they've only had 6 matches, so there's still a lot to play for them. But for the first leg, I'm going to go 3-0 to Chelsea in Sweden. Okay, so now the leg 2s of these Conference League ties. So Fiorentina v Real Betis. It is at home now for Fiorentina in Florence, so I'm going to go for a 1-0 win for them. However, the 2-0 win in the first leg means it's 2-1 in aggregate to Real Betis, so it goes to a final. And then Chelsea at home to Djurgården. I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong. Honestly, I saw that some circle accent, but I don't know how to pronounce that. I have no idea about Swedish, to be honest. But I'm sorry to put even more of a down on you, but I think the second leg will be 5-1 an 8-1 on aggregate, because let's just look through Chelsea's Conference League campaign this year. They've got like 8-0 wins and everything. They have walked it. So the final is going to be Real Betis versus Chelsea. And I'm going to say 3-1 to Chelsea. I think Real Betis doing well. They're currently 6th in La Liga. However, I do think that Chelsea will be too strong for them and they will get the win. Now we move on to the Europa League, a pretty interesting one, if I do say so myself. So we're gonna first go to the Bilbao versus Manchester United. Sorry about that. And obviously, Manchester United, what a performance in the second leg of their quarter-final tie against Lyon. 5-4, 7-6 on aggregate, but 3 late goals in extra time. It was wild. It was incredible. It was unbelievable. I still can't believe it myself. However, they now face Athletic Bilbao. They're currently 4th in La Liga. They are having a great season. The top goal scorer with 17 in 32, Zoran Sančić. Also, don't forget, you've got the 2 Williams, Inaki and Nico. So they are very unstoppable. Well, that's like stoppable, but they're very strong right now in Spain and in the Europa League. So, first leg will be in Bilbao, and Man U, they're 14th in the Premier League. They aren't doing great, and however what they have done in Europe, I just think they're going to fall apart in the first leg. It will be 3-0 to Bilbao. And then in the other tie, we've got Tottenham, who just in a similar situation to Man U at the moment, where a big team who are really underperforming. They're 16th in the Premier League. Don't worry, Tottenham fans, you are assured the relegation. Assured you will not be relegated. All 3 places have already been confirmed, but we aren't going to go into that. That will be for another video. I don't know which one. So they've got Bodo Glimt, who obviously have been on a real Cinderella run in this year's Europa League, the Norwegian side, and it's quite interesting because you've got Tottenham, who have really underperformed this season. Lots of people saying Ange should go. And obviously they do play a very entertaining style of football still. And people do say, like, about how Ange does normally win a trophy in his second season at a club. He's done that with a number of clubs. So it will be quite interesting to see if whatever happens in the Europa League affects his future at the club. Personally, we're going to find out if I think they'll win the Europa League. I do think he'll need to win that to stay in the job. If he doesn't, if he does, I think he will. If he doesn't, I don't think he will, basically. And it'll be interesting to see who replaces him. And personally, I could see maybe Iraola from Bournemouth. Lots of people saying Thomas Frank would work. I think he would, but I feel like he's more devoted to Brentford. Okay, but anyways, so Tottenham 16th in the Premier League. Brennan Johnson, their top goal scorer, 11 goals. And then Bodo Glimt, same as Sweden, where it's like that kind of calendar year based season. So my guess is, I'm thinking Scandinavian colder countries, do they spend the winter focusing on ice hockey and stuff like that? And I don't know, that's my guess, but I don't know if we have any Scandinavian viewers, like Norwegian, Swedish, I'm guessing Finland do the same. Please let me know. So first I'm going to say lots of a beaten around the bush there. 1-0 to Tottenham. Yeah, all of that for a 1-0 win. Sorry about that. Okay, leg 2's. Okay. So at Old Trafford, I'm going to say 1-1 with Man U and Bilbao. That's 4-1 on aggregate to Bilbao, however. Then in Norway, I'm going to say Tottenham beat Bodo Glimt 2-0. So 3-0 on aggregate, which makes a final. Athletic Bilbao versus Tottenham. This is Tottenham's real opportunity to win a first trophy in now 16 or 17 years. So it's really intense for them. I'm going to say they lead for most of the game, but then a late equaliser and a 5-4 win on penalties for Athletic Bilbao. Yeah, I think they're going to win the Europa League, Bilbao. I just can't see Tottenham doing it, sadly. I know what everyone says about the trophy thing, but I just don't think they have it in them right now. And it's just going to go down as a very forgettable season for Spurs. On to the Champions League. So, semi-final one is a very interesting one. We've got Arsenal against PSG. Arsenal obliterated Real Madrid in the quarterfinals. It was amazing. Some incredible goals by Declan Rice, who's been doing really well. Bukayo Saka. Also, they've got a really strong squad about them, have Arsenal. And Kai Havertz been the leading goal scorer for them. And then you go to PSG, who have really impressed me in this Champions League campaign. But also remember in Ligue 1, they've had one loss all season. They are far top. They are like a really strong side. Ousmane Dembele being leading the line with 21 goals in 28. Definitely a potential Ballon d'Or winner this season. They've also got Gonzalo Ramos getting goals. Bradley Barcola. They're a really strong team at the back. They've got Achraf Hakimi. They are really good this season. However, at the Emirates, I'm going to have a really impressive 2-1 win for Arsenal. But remember, only the first leg. And then we've got Barcelona versus Inter Milan. So Barcelona, newly crowned Copa del Rey champions on Saturday. They're doing very well at the moment. Inter are slightly out of form, falling behind in that race for the Serie A title behind Napoli. So it looks like they're going to fail that, but has been a great season. Marcus Thuram leading the line in goals, got Lautaro Martinez as well. Barcelona, Lewandowski's been amazing, and also Rafinha, another real favourite for the Ballon d'Or this season. So it's a really tight thing to call here, and I'm gonna say first leg a really good 4-2 win for Barcelona. So I think it's going to be very entertaining to watch that first leg. And then we go to leg 2. I'm going to say PSG beat Arsenal 2-0, 3-2 on aggregate to the French outfit, which means they go into the Champions League final. And then Inter versus Barcelona at San Siro, I'm going to say 2-2 and 6-4 on aggregate to Barcelona. I think it's going to be a really good tie across those two legs. And it'll be really interesting to see. And that makes the big one, the Champions League final, PSG versus Barcelona. What a game. Two really good sides at the moment. I'm going to say it won't be the greatest game of all time. I'm going to say 1-0 to PSG. So, yeah, they've really impressed me this season. I think they are going to get the job done in the final in Munich and win the Champions League for the first ever time. That concludes the video. So, some really interesting things to look at there in Europe, around Europe, because we don't look at the lower down European competitions much on here, but I thought I'd have a look at them. So, yeah. Lots, as I've said before, lots of exciting stuff coming up on the channel. I'm really excited to get my team stuck into some of the stuff which is coming up on here. So it's going to be very good. So it's all looking very fun as we approach the end of the season. As I said, EFL predictions this Friday. There'll be a Championship team of the season, I think a Premier League team of the season. So that'll both be good. Club World Cup coming up. So yeah, as I said at the start of the video, lots of fun coming up. And also guys, please suggest videos you think I should make as well, because I'd love to respond to your suggestions. And then I guess one thing left to say. Like, subscribe, all that. But then after that, bye and peace.